with you wherever that may be.
We just dropped the kiddos off at soccer camp, and it has been quite the week. Not at all what we expected it to turn out to be. Kids are excited for soccer, and they're really sad that tomorrow is the last day. We are actually going to go check out a museum here at Lackland Air Force Base. It is called the Security Forces Museum. It's something we've been wanting to do for some time, but we just haven't done it. And mainly because we know the kids are going to be very bored in the museum. But Adam and I really want to take in all the information. And the reason is because we started out our Air Force career in security forces. And Adam went off to do a lot of different other things after his time in security forces, and I went to do some investigation work in OSI, so Air Force Office of Special Investigations, which I absolutely loved. It was so much fun. And if you guys are interested in doing that, if you're young and you want to join the Air Force and get into law enforcement or investigations, it is a great route to start at and really get your feet wet in that career field. But we're gonna go check out that museum. These are old uniforms. That's super cool. Air Patrol. So this is a 2-level museum, self-guided. Army Air Corps, military police. Looks like very thick material. I guess you could say it's kind of like what we wear today, or what I used to wear since I'm not in anymore. You have the old weapons. They told us right off the bat, they're not guns, they're weapons. When I was in, I carried the M16, M4, M9 grenade launcher. And just to give you a little bit of background on myself, my first duty station was at Herbert Field, Florida, which I absolutely loved. They quickly sent me to Qatar for my first deployment. And then after I got back, they sent me to Germany. And then Germany, they sent me on 2 deployments to United Arab Emirates, Al Dhafra. Enemy weapons. Look at that machine gun. Very different from what I had. Grenade launcher. Submachine gun and light machine gun. This is during Vietnam and Thailand. Look at this beret for a canine handler. These are uniforms from the 1970s. And these were security police uniforms in the 1970s. I used to have a jacket kind of like that. Received it in basic.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like that one too. Looks like something you'd wear in like Russia. 1970s cold weather gear. I seriously doubt they wore their blues every day.
They used to.
They wore their blues every day?
Well, or at the dates.
This is 1983.
Don't you know link gate cards?
Oh, yeah. This is body armor used by security forces. Let's see, what year was this? It doesn't say. Looks like you have mace, a few knives. We used to have to wear a vest under a uniform. It didn't look like that. It was black. It kind of looked like this, actually. And then we had one of these. And we also had one of those helmets in our bag too. 1980s chemical warfare. We actually carried a gas mask with us every day. And it kind of looked like this. We had the boots and bag where you kept your mask and the gloves. This is the uniform for an elite guard. I do have to say, when we were issued our berets, it felt very special to have earned it. And I wore my beret throughout my whole career in the military because I did take time off to work in OSI, so there was a good amount of years where I didn't wear it, so it did stay fairly clean. Here you have scooter patrol, ATV, right? Patrol, and then you have bike patrol, and it looks like by horse. I've never seen that. So when Adam and I joined, we were in these uniforms.
The
BDUs, yeah. They were so comfortable. And then, so we were in the BDUs in this uniform. And I don't think I ever bought a new uniform until they made us get these uniforms, which were absolutely, they're horrible. If you were in hot weather, you were just baking. They're very thick. They didn't keep them very long before they moved to, what do you wear right now, Adam?
OCP?
OCPs, which I do like those. Those are very nice uniforms. But the BDUs were very, very comfortable and very forgiving. And then over here they have the desert uniforms. We were issued these every time we deployed, so I had quite a bit of them. And those are pretty comfortable as well. It would get so hot out there that you would actually sweat right through your uniform. And then in my hat, I would make a little dash for every day that passed, counting down my days out there. I still have that hat tucked away somewhere. And have any of you guys eaten an MRE? Those things are, I think, about 2,000 calories. They're supposed to be a 1 meal a day kind of thing. This one has the cheese and jalapeno spread, which was one of my favorites. You put it on like a cracker. Oh, you have the cracker right here. The green bag is how you heat up your food. And this one is a chili macaroni. That chili macaroni was actually pretty good. We would fight over that one. We would, everybody would put down the MRE boxes, and everybody would make a mad dash for their favorite MRE. But those things would leave you stopped up. You would be so constipated for the rest of the day, and that was what it was supposed to do, so that you didn't have to use the bathroom very often out there in the field. And it would fill you up for the day for the most part. So what we would do is just try to eat a little bit at a time. This wall is honoring women in service in security forces. A1C Jacobson was the first female to be killed in action. She was assigned to Goodfellow Air Force Base at the time.
In Operation Enduring Freedom, I think.
Yeah. These are some of the uniforms that women have worn over the years. This is the current that I wore as well. These are pretty cool. Adam and I have collected coins during our time in the military. Adam is still collecting them since he's still in. And what this is the coin challenge. A service member's most valuable coin is always kept on their person. In the event of a coin challenge, one may initiate a coin challenge by drawing his or her coin and slapping or placing the coin onto a table. Accidentally dropping a coin is also considered to be a challenge. All members challenged must produce their coin. Anyone who fails to do so must buy a round of beverages for the group. If everyone challenged is able to produce their coin, the challenger must buy everyone challenged a round of beverages. This is the most widely accepted rule of the coin challenge. Though they may vary in different branches or units, this tradition is a common way to ensure that members are carrying their unit coin and is meant to be a source of morale in a unit. Now we're heading upstairs to see what's up here. This museum is much larger than I expected.
It's bigger than it was.
Oh, they have Camp Bullis stuff here. You want to go over here? Brazzards. So when Adam and I were in, ours looked like that. No? It looked like that.
That's Rhinewine.
Oh, you mean with the star. But it looked very stiff like this one.
This looks the same.
Oh, okay. Well, mine looked like that, but with the star.
This one, I think I have that.
Yeah, I think that one when I was deployed. We never wore the band.
No, that's like the 70s.
70s. I don't even know what that is for. Or how they would wear that.
Familiar.
But we wore one that looked like these two, and then that one right there. I think I still have them. And then these are the beret, officer berets. You could see how they get kind of dirty. Mine's pretty dirty, but ours looked like this one here. And when you get it, it's not formed at all. So what you have to do is get a razor and get it wet, and you have to shave it and mold it to your head while it's wet. And eventually it'll just get molded to your head and fit really well. So getting a new beret kind of sucked because you had to go through the process again. Now, when you go to tech school, you go to tech school here at Lackland Air Force Base. So getting out of basic, we just basically got on the bus for 2 minutes and drove down the street. Camp Bullis is one of the training locations that we frequented out here in San Antonio. And that's where we would do a lot of our field work. You can see face paint, which is definitely what we did. Obstacle courses. We did a lot of training at Camp Bullis. Was our weapons training at Camp Bullis?
No.
No? It was here
Yes,
at Lackland?
The heavies were at Bullis. 240s, 249s, grenades.
Okay.
But I think the range is actually Chapman,
Oh.
which I haven't found yet.
Over here is the badges over the years. I had no idea that they changed so much. I'm doing a quick glance. Ours looks very much like this one here. And then we wore this on our BDUs. And then I think this one on our blues, I don't know, I'd have to double check my blues, which are hanging up in my closet. I'm curious if I could fit in them. But these are old badges over the years. It actually had the base on them. Ours didn't have that at all. It was just very generic, but it had your number on them, and you only wore them on your blues. So when Adam and I were in initially, we carried the M9, which was a very heavy pistol, and then they moved to this one, M18.
M18 Sig Sauer.
Okay, it looks very small. Now, we do have some friends that are military working dogs. That's something that you could move on to once you get into security forces. And this is what they train the dogs in, the suit here. And from time to time, if the military working dog handler needed somebody to help with training, they would bring out the suit for one of us to wear, or we would put on like this on our arm, or there's something here that doesn't look very familiar, but this right here we would just put on our arm, and the handler would tell them what to do, and kind of like what you see in this picture right there. And the dog would come up and attack your arm, but only bite this on your arm and try to get you down. So that was kind of fun to do from time to time. So this uniform here is what they're currently wearing. They're called OCPs, and I really do like them. They're very much like the BDUs, very comfortable.
These helmets, they look so comfortable.
I know.
They don't look like they give you headache anymore.
I showed you guys the helmets that we were issued, but these are really nice. The gear that they have now is much, much better. But, you know, that's with every generation. Every generation will be issued a little bit better gear. But this is what the women's uniform, security forces uniform, looks like. I love the pockets in the jacket. There's a lot more pockets. The name tapes come off. They're like Velcro. It's just more functional. Here's some grenades. We did throw grenades when we were in training, and I have quite a few pins that I kept. So I kept I think most of the grenades that I threw, but it was a very fun time to be able to do that, to throw some grenades, and just, you have to definitely be careful and make sure you get down, but it was really cool to do. This is the M4 rifle that we carried. Very, very light, easy to handle. We did train with the M16, which is much bigger, which I don't know if I've seen that here yet. But yeah, this is the weapon that Adam and I carried when we were on patrol at our home station, but definitely when we were on a deployment, we carried this one. And you can see this picture here. When we were deployed, I wouldn't say that our deployment locations always looked like this, but we definitely lived in tents that kind of looked like what you see here. I don't remember too many crazy wires, like you're in a concentration camp kind of thing, but it kind of did in a way look like this. We had the guard towers, which is where Adam and I would spend many, many hours, but we weren't just in the towers all the time. There was a lot of different jobs that we were doing while we were deployed. Often we would be assigned to a patrol, so we would drive the Humvees, and since I was the machine gunner, they put me up there in the turret because I was shorter, so it'd be easier for me to get down, but I would have to mount my gun or weapon, and you know, there was like a turret, so you would spin, but there was times where I would have to drive. So it really depended on the day. Every day you were assigned to a different post at your home duty station, or even when you're deployed. So every day is kind of different. That's pretty much all that is here in the museum. Like I said, it's much bigger than I expected. It's definitely something that Adam and I look back on fondly as our time in the Air Force. It was sometimes hard work, and sometimes very boring, and sometimes very rewarding. So I don't regret it at all. Very happy that I was able to serve as a security forces member and then go on to do some really cool stuff in OSI, and Adam's doing some really cool stuff even now in the Air Force. Joining the Air Force and all, just being part of it and doing so many different things has been such a great honor, and it's one of the highlights that Adam and I continue to look back on and be so grateful that we had an opportunity to be part of it. And we're still doing it. We're still a military family, and it's been a great ride. So guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, do so you guys could come along with us on all our adventures. We do quite a bit, and we want to bring you guys along for it all. But we have to go get our kiddos at soccer camp. But we're going to wrap up this video and call it a day. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be.